December 2016, Havana, Cuba. A city of lively music, vintage cars, and a rich history, where every street corner whispers a story. It was here, in a world seemingly frozen in time, that a new and perplexing chapter began, one that would challenge the understanding of many. An American diplomat stationed at the United States Embassy experienced something unusual, unsettling, something that would change his life. He described it as a high-pitched sound, an invisible pressure that left him disoriented and unwell, an experience unlike anything he had ever encountered before. At first, it seemed like an isolated incident, easily dismissed as an anomaly in a foreign land, a strange but singular event. However, this was merely the first tremor of what would become a baffling and unsettling mystery, the Havana Syndrome, a phenomenon that would capture global attention. This initial report, though concerning, was quickly overshadowed by the excitement surrounding the recent thawing of relations between the United States and Cuba, a historic moment. After decades of Cold War animosity, the reopening of embassies in both countries marked a new era for diplomacy, an era of hope and renewal. The world watched with cautious optimism, hoping for a brighter future for both nations, a future of cooperation and peace. Yet, amidst the handshakes and optimistic speeches, a silent threat was emerging, one that would cast a shadow over this newfound amity, an ominous shadow. As weeks turned into months, more reports surfaced, reports that could no longer be ignored. American diplomats and their families stationed in Havana began experiencing a range of debilitating symptoms, symptoms that would upend their lives. The symptoms were varied and baffling, ranging from headaches and dizziness to hearing loss and cognitive difficulties, symptoms that defied logical explanation. The common thread, a sudden onset of illness after hearing strange, often high-pitched noises that seemed to come out of nowhere. The Cuban government, initially skeptical, found itself entangled in this mystery, one that would test diplomatic relations. What was happening in Havana? A question that echoed in the minds of all. Was it a targeted attack, a strange environmental phenomenon, or something else entirely? Speculation ran rampant. The world held its breath, watching as a new form of international intrigue unfolded, one that would captivate the attention of all. The stage was set for a deep dive into a medical and diplomatic enigma, one that challenged our understanding of human vulnerability and the nature of modern conflict, one that would make history. As the cases multiplied, a chilling pattern began to emerge, casting a pall of fear and uncertainty over the community. The victims, primarily American diplomats and intelligence officers, described similar experiences, adding to the growing bewilderment. The onset of the illness was often sudden, characterized by an intense, localized pressure in the head, accompanied by a piercing, high-pitched sound, seemingly appearing out of thin air. Some described it as a metallic grinding, others as a beam of sound directed at them, like a laser pointer, making the experience even more unnerving. The experience, though brief, often left victims disoriented, nauseous, and with a persistent ringing in their ears, disrupting their daily lives. The long-term effects of these sonic assaults were even more troubling, profoundly impacting the victims' quality of life. Victims reported a range of debilitating symptoms, including headaches, dizziness, memory loss, and difficulty concentrating, making everyday tasks feel insurmountable. Some experienced vision problems, hearing loss, and difficulty with balance and coordination, further complicating their situations. The symptoms, often invisible to the outside world, cast a long shadow over the lives of those affected, disrupting their work and personal lives. Fear was palpable, and uncertainty hung heavy in the air. Diplomats, once eager to serve in Havana, grew increasingly concerned for their safety and that of their families, fearing for their well-being. The United States Embassy, once a symbol of renewed diplomatic ties, became a source of anxiety and uncertainty, a place of mistrust. The Cuban government, caught between suspicion and disbelief, launched its own investigation, desperately seeking answers. They too were baffled, unable to explain the strange ailments plaguing American diplomats, adding to the complexity of the situation. The mystery deepened, drawing in medical experts, intelligence agencies, and scientists from around the world, all seeking to unravel the secrets of this enigma. The race was on to find answers, to identify the cause of this strange new illness, and determine if it was a deliberate attack or a bizarre medical anomaly, a question that remained unanswered. Whatever the explanation, one thing was clear. A new kind of threat, silent and insidious, had emerged on the world stage, forever changing the perception of safety and security. Imagine this: you're at home, in a place of comfort and familiarity, surrounded by all that you hold dear. Suddenly you hear a high-pitched grating sound like metal on metal, a noise that seems to tear through the air around you. It seems to be coming from everywhere and nowhere at the same time, enveloping the space in a disorienting cacophony. It pierces through your skull, leaving you disoriented and nauseous, as if your world has just tilted on its axis. This was the reality faced by numerous American diplomats and their families in Havana, an experience that turned their lives upside down. Their accounts, though varied in the details, painted a consistent picture of a strange and disturbing phenomenon, a mystery that united them in their lack of understanding. One diplomat described the sound as a beam of sonic energy, as if someone were pointing a sonic weapon directly at her head, a terrifying and inescapable sensation. Another likened it to a high-pitched whine so intense that it caused him to lose his balance, leaving him vulnerable and confused. Others spoke of a feeling of pressure in their ears, accompanied by dizziness and nausea, an experience that left a lasting impact. Many described feeling like they were inside a pressure cooker, their senses overwhelmed by this invisible force, a constant and inescapable pressure. What made these accounts even more chilling was that the sounds were often localized and directional, as if targeted with surgical precision. Victims reported hearing these strange noises in specific locations within their homes or hotel rooms, while others in the same space heard nothing at all, adding to the confusion. This suggested a level of targeting and precision that defied simple explanation, an unfathomable mystery. Was this a deliberate attack using advanced sonic technology, or were these diplomats the victims of a strange and as yet unknown phenomenon? The questions lingered, unanswered. The lack of physical evidence only deepened the mystery, leaving investigators perplexed. Victims often showed no outward signs of injury, yet their symptoms were real and debilitating, a baffling paradox. This disconnect between the victim's subjective experience and the lack of objective evidence fueled speculation and paranoia, a climate of suspicion and uncertainty. The stage was set for a medical and scientific enigma, a search for answers in a world where the line between reality and perception seemed increasingly blurred, a challenge for the brightest minds. If you found this investigation intriguing, don't forget to like and subscribe for more in-depth explorations. Your support helps us uncover the truth. Thank you for watching.